All right, hi everyone. Today I have Joe Lindenmayer. Joe is the current franchisee of California Closets of the Gulf Coast. He's also a former franchisor and a former chair of the VetFran committee. So Joe, thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thanks, Matt. Great to be here.
Yeah, today I'm really excited because we're going to get to talk about kind of your transition from working at a franchisor to then becoming a franchisee yourself. So I'm really kind of hoping we can get into some details and talk to, why you wanted to become a franchisee and kind of get into that. So I guess my first question for you is, what got you into the franchisor first? Why did you choose to go work for them?
Well, so this goes back to 1993, and it's kind of a strange twist of events and a long story. I'll spare everybody, but ultimately, I had a chance to meet with a franchisor in Atlanta called TSS Photography, which was really the sports section at the time. And they were looking to really implement their first field sales support program. They were on a clip to sell 12 to 15 new units a year. And they had that part of it down really well, but the ongoing support and the training of their team after they opened up the new units was not in place yet. So they were excited about bringing me on, and I was thrilled to be there, and did a ton of travel and really enjoyed it, and got to see a lot of the country and help new franchise owners get launched.
Yeah, no, that's great to hear. I mean, obviously you've been very experienced with helping franchisees kind of learn more about that process and then get involved in buying a franchise themselves. So there are probably some kind of insider tips that you learned about the industry on the other side that helped you when you chose to become a franchisee yourself. So are there any of those kind of things that you learned that you should go to the franchisor with that can really help you with making that process more smooth?
Well, I think for any prospective franchise owners out there, the first thing is really to understand the culture of the company. I think that's so important, right? That you're in alignment with their vision and their views and how they support the franchise owners. As far as insider tips, it always helps to know kind of what's negotiable and what's not negotiable. I know, there's a hard and fast rule that there isn't a negotiation when it comes to franchise agreements and the launch of a new business. But the reality is there's a conversation around it. And I think that's something that it's okay to ask the questions. Don't expect the franchisor to give you everything you want, but if you don't ask, you don't know what their stance is on it. And at different points of their evolution, they may be a more mature franchise that it is hard and fast and there's not really any negotiation, whereas a new franchisor might be willing to identify some opportunities. And look, every franchisor wants to see their franchisees be successful. So that in and of itself, if there's something that's going to help you be more successful, talk to them about it.
Yeah, that sounds great. One of the things that people come to VetFran for is looking for companies that offer those veterans discounts on the opening of a franchise. Can you speak a little bit to, from the franchisor side, why those discounts are offered? And then on the franchisee side, how easy it was to take advantage of that, as a franchisee who's coming into the system?
Yeah, well, and I love this part of the story because as a veteran of Desert Storm, and when Don Dwyer launched VetFran following Desert Storm, it provided some opportunities for people really looking to transition in. And in 1993, I had the privilege of actually awarding a franchise to a Vietnam veteran under the VetFran flag. It was the first franchise that we had sold and awarded under VetFran. And to this day, he was a great friend of mine. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago. But I think the secret to this really is, number one, again, going back to the culture, that if the franchisor is part of VetFran and aligns to that and offers not just the discount, but I think also additional support and training. Perhaps they've aligned with some of their supplier partners on additional discounts or opportunities there. It's a great chance for a franchise system to give back to those that have given so much for, the opportunity of franchising for the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Those discounts are a great way for businesses to make a really tangible commitment toward hiring veterans and bringing them into their system. And, as we've seen, veterans franchisees, typically outperform non-veteran franchisees as well. So there's a great reason to get them involved. One of my other questions for you is, kind of related to franchising in general. As a franchisee, do you feel as though you're kind of in a better business situation and have more support than you would if you'd gone in alone? Can you speak to that a little bit?
Well, for sure, and I think that's the silver bullet, magic button, magic seeds, whatever you want to call it, to the whole model is that the opportunity for success and for people pulling together and having a common objective under a brand is a fantastic aspect of franchising. And I saw the benefits to having the franchising type model when I was a teenager, and seeing how my dad's business, was really left to its own to try and develop its own marketing plans, develop its own branding, and really not know how to negotiate certain things. And then ultimately, when you have some tough days like we've had through COVID, right? And the reality that, this is something that very few of us have ever gone through, to be able to have a bunch of people in the same boat rowing together, and just coming up with ideas and doing rapid prototyping and solutions and driving forward. Those are the things that franchising brings you versus, again, being out there on your own, having to figure it out. And you're one really bad decision or mistake away from potentially going out of business. And I think the mitigation of that risk through franchising and the opportunity to partner with other locations is just, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely been some unexpected business times as a result of COVID and everything like that. So you would say that if you're a transitioning service member, it definitely makes better business sense, and you would feel more supported, entering into a franchise system.
Oh, 100%. We have a saying in the military, right? No plan survives the first engagement with the enemy. And I think in franchising, you have so many people that have gone before you or with you. And so the plan continues to evolve, and it's been battle tested. It's been proven. And again, you've got to execute. It's not something that you don't have a potential risk involved, and it certainly does, but that risk is so much less because of the systems and because of that commonality with other locations and the franchisor all wanting to make it succeed.
Yeah, that's great to hear. We definitely are glad that businesses have been able to remain strong in face of some tough times lately. So glad to hear that there's some great support out there.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, I think that's all that we have time for today, but I want to thank you so much for joining me. Your insights into the industry are definitely helpful, and I think people will find them quite compelling. So thank you for being here.
Happy to do it, Matt. Thanks.